What's going on, everybody? It's Childish. We're back at it again. We got ourselves the next episode of Subscriber Showcase. Y'all know what it is. It's that one episode of the week where we take the opportunity to showcase our subscribers' arena defense. They'll find me in the arena, or I find them. When it happens, they'll shoot me an email at childish402@gmail.com with the subject line Subscriber Showcase, and then we'll go ahead and record it and show you guys the arena defense in action, in addition to talking about some of the pros and cons of the setup. So let's take a look. We got ourselves Waldamer today. He is rocking Orion. He is rocking Waldamer. I'm salty. Salty. He is rocking Leica. And last but not least, we got ourselves Chasun. Okay. So let's take a look at the rune builds. All right. Right now, we got ourselves a Swift Orion. Okay. Speed, hit point, defense. Okay. Speed, hit point, defense. Now, for those that, have heard me talk about this a while, Swift versus Violent, obviously if we're talking about arena and trying to get that first turn, Swift is undoubtedly the one to go with, especially if you have some kind of a combo that you like to use. That being said, with regard to this particular setup, at the level that he's at, in the C2, C3, G1, it's going to be kind of hard to compete at this level with regards to this amount of speed. On Swift, a lot of the people in that C3 Guardian 1 ranks are going to be right around the 280, 285, 290 plus. So yeah, nothing really to shy on that, other than the fact that the speed is going to be hard to compare. With regards to the hit points, depending on how you're using this on the arena defense, you can make an option for going defense here. As you can see, he's utilizing defense here because that's what's giving him the speed. Now, if we're talking about certain defenses that are set up in that trap formation, where you're trying to trap your opponent into trying to Lucian you or something with the sword, then you need to be concerned about having enough hit points to actually take the first hit. If you can't take the first hit, then Nemesis or whatever is not going to really help you in this matter. So, if I could make a recommendation as far as, obviously increasing the speed on this one with a Swift, I definitely would try to get the hit points above, 31, 32K, as most of the top end Lucians right now are pushing, in that 10K to 12K mark. Of course, that's end game. When it comes to, C3 G1, I think you're going to be safe with about 28 to 30K. And of course, don't keep in mind that you're going to have your HP towers also included in that, so you want to kind of look into that. Next one up, we got ourselves Waldamer. Okay, Waldamer's sitting really good in that common build that you want to use there. Despair, Will, HP now. Good overall speed, good resistance. That's a lot of things that people forget about. They're really focused on making it very tanky and trying to get the will on, but they forget about the fact that they need resistance. When it comes to Waldamer, you guys know that it basically kind of screws up everything if you're not using any kind of AoE kind of cleave or combo, whatever like that. So to have a high resist on it is good, because if they try to focus down your Waldamer first, they're going to need to land that defense break to get an opportunity to one-shot it, because it is very tanky. So having that high resistance on is definitely going to help you in that aspect. I like that setup there. So next one is your damage dealer in this mix. We got ourselves Leica. Okay, Leica. It's funny because I'm getting ready to do an episode on this one. You probably guys see this next week. We got ourselves a speed-based Leica build, speed, crit damage, attack. That's the beauty of this unit. You can build it in so many different ways due to its passive, due to its high hit point stats, due to its natural resistance. It has a lot of things that combined makes this an overall really good unit. Now, with regards to the defensive aspect, if you're trying to utilize this unit on a defense, I definitely recommend more of a defense build. As you can see right here, he's rocking more of a yellow type build, so I'm guessing that he kind of use this in his offensive combos. Because of that, because you have it built in this way, you're definitely got to not be able to take advantage of this when it comes to the defensive side. Now, people when looking at this initial setup, we'll kind of get into this in a bit, but we're looking at this initial setup with regards to his defense. It does scream Lucian me, right? It does scream Lucian me. So, obviously Lucians are not going to crit all the time on the fires, but it can happen. And so again, if with these units and how they're built and whatnot, if you land 2 out of those 3 crits, randomly, Leica is going to be critical. So again, if you're going to be thinking about using this on the defensive side, you definitely want to make him relatively tanky. And he is a unit that can be tanky. So if you guys are familiar with this unit, defensively, we got the natural resistance on the awakening, and then of course we got the passive here. No longer laying lands hits, and additionally, when being attacked, you have 30% chance to stun. So this is always nice because you can stun the opponent when it hits you. That being said, when we're talking about compositions that come at you, like Lucians and other combos or whatnot, if they attack you and do the damage, then the passive is not really going to do anything for you because it's going to be given the stun afterwards. If their combo still works and clears, 2 out of the 4 units, 3 out of the 4 units, they've done the work that they're trying to do. Okay. So let's see. Last but not least, we got ourselves Chasun. Okay, so Chasun's rocking that violent shield. Looks like speed, hit point. Pretty darn good stats actually. About 200 speed, 34k HP. This is great in the situation of being able to take that first hit on a Lucian. But again, it is on a shield set and not on a nemesis set, so you're gonna have that issue of still having those teams, those speed-based speed sync teams, go one right after the other if you don't have any nemesis kind of set up there. So. Overall with the team, it's kind of hard to say on what I would kind of go for. I mean, I understand the fact that the Waldamer, the Orion Chasun, definitely you might be trying to do that kind of trap concept so you can make it happen. But because of the fact that your trap is lacking nemesis, you're still going to have a hard time versus the people. So if you wanted to use something of this sort, I think my recommendation would be something like Waldamer would still be in there, Chasun would still be in there, but again, you're gonna want to have that. You're gonna want to have that nemesis aspect. So I would probably go with the violent nemesis Chasun. I'd probably take out Orion and put Veramos in. Or depending on how you want to go, you could take out Orion, you could take out Leica. Obviously, you want to kind of have a little bit of DPS here, but Veramos I feel like needs to go in because again, he's another one of those defensive units that can cut in between on a nemesis set and essentially stun their opponent if they're not rocking well. So let's flip the script here. If you are on offense and you're trying to run these speed-based compositions, keep in mind that your first unit that goes to attack, it's all good to go, right? But if you don't have will on that second attack, you're going to have an issue with the opposing team's traps when they use that nemesis trap you and then utilize units that can stun you. We can make an argument for Waldamer being on that nemesis set. Obviously will is extremely important to not let those Galleon users go ahead and land that defense break and really do a lot of damage. But if you're setting up a team that says, please Lucian me right now, I want you to Lucian me, right? Nemesis to go ahead and push his attack bar up, and then of course proc that second skill that is the attack bar manipulation, increasing the attack bar, and of course since it's an AoE, you have that chance to stun. You can definitely use it. Now, keep in mind that speed-based compositions, right? They're going to be real fast and they're going to be synced. So, with a unit like this, it's not going to have a lot of speed. You're generally making a tanky. A nemesis might not work all too well, so I probably would opt for the will. But it is an option if you have those speed substats that you're looking for and happen to get on it. Because if you ever look at the top ranks of the people out there, there's definitely some 180, 190, 42, 43k plus Waldames out there. It's crazy stats. So with regards to the units that I see, you definitely are limited in what you can do. But I kind of like that concept that you're trying to go with regards to trapping the opponent. And so if that's the case, definitely want to make all the units above 30k, 32k. You definitely want to get as much nemesis as possible, right? And I think that's about it. Yeah, Veramos, you got Veramos Waldamer, you got Chasun, and then you can mix and match what you want to do. You can even make it an argument for Orion and make it, crazy thing. Believe it or not, Orion, Veramos, Waldamer, that some people wouldn't really, like that in the arena because there's really no overall DPS. But it's not so much the DPS, but it's so much the concept of attack bar manipulation, CCing the opponent and whatnot. Right? If we set up our team to essentially tell the opponent to bring one team and one team only, and we think about the common teams that people generally like to bring because of how much damage it can do, right? Like I said, we've been talking about Lucian all this time. Then you can make the argument that that team that they're going to bring is going to be relatively offensive, and their ultimate goal is to try to take you out in one hit. If you trap your opponent and set it up in such that they can't do it, and you stop them from using one unit, using another unit, having that combination of Orion, Waldamer, and Veramos can definitely shake things up a little bit. So again, don't put it, don't leave that out the way as far as an option. It could be a viable option, but again, in this stage of the game where you're at with regards to your arena rank, it's going to be extremely hard to counter everything. So if you're going to invite the opponent to do basically the 99% of what people would do to it, then definitely set it up in that trappy nemesis kind of approach and see what you can do. Other than that, that's pretty much all I can recommend to you. Other units that you can play around with in that aspect that could be in that such where if you're trying to bring some kind of AoE aspect or whatever, you got Brian and whatnot there. But with the other units, I like the Veramos, I like the Orion, I like the Waldamer, and then of course Chasun. Chasun's an amazing hit point manipulator with regards to Waldamer, and so I like that approach. So that is it, guys, for this episode of Subscriber Showcase. Again, this is the fight has already been pre-recorded. Okay, I'm not looking at his runes and then doing the fight. So I just wanted to kind of give you a heads up on his certain setup and his stats before we get into the fight. Thank you guys so much for your support. Okay, if you like this video, go ahead and smash that like button. If you haven't already, go ahead and follow me on Facebook, Twitter, and Twitch. I am doing Twitch now with the streaming, so I appreciate your support of that. That is it. I am done. It's your boy Childish, ChildishPlays. Check it out. Take care, and we'll see you next time, guys. We're out.